Welcome to the Fierce Feminine Frequency. My name is Sarah Erb. I'm your host, and today we're talking about a very important topic. What's awaiting you, the witch wound, and all things visibility. So let's dive into this. This is the Fierce Feminine Frequency. So whenever you tune into here, you are aligning with the frequency of the Fierce Feminine concept. What is the Fierce Feminine concept? For those who don't know, it's the balance of feminine and masculine energy. So you can be fierce, you can be like the I set boundaries, I say no, I go for what I want kind of woman. But you can also be soft, you can be feminine, you can be surrender, receiving, letting things come. This is the feminine flow, that's the feminine in Fierce Feminine. So today we talk about a problem that's coming with the term fierce, because fierce is standing up for yourself. And when we dived into the people-pleasing thing already in the last episode, and check it out here. And today we dive into visibility. So there is a huge problem with visibility for many women. And this is what's awaiting you today. We talk all things visibility, why women or even you are afraid of being seen, why I call it the witch wound, and for sure, as usual, how can you solve it in order to don't have a problem with visibility again. So what is this witch wound I am talking about? Let me explain, and let's start with a story here, okay? We're legend, by the way. Okay, so imagine being in Salem, okay? And you have ancient wisdom. You know many things that are not really discovered yet. You have soul sisters with whom you're bonding. You have a sacred circle. You honor and worship your temple, your body, and you know a lot about health and medicine that is, for example, healing sacred plant medicines and healing essential oils, but it's not discovered yet. So, and you live in a time where people avoid and push away everything that is unknown. Spoiler, people still do that. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any conspiracy theories, but just to get the vibe, okay? So you're there in the middle of actually not really intelligent people, just sheeps who follow some rules, in that certain case, the church. And you are a sacred woman and you know that. All the other women outside of your sacred sisterhood circle, they obey. They don't know their worth. They get used, they get abused, and they really don't have any self-worth. They don't stand up for themselves. They don't stand their grounds. They don't speak their truth. They are NPCs in a world full of men who think that they can suppress them, okay? Which basically happened. So, and you are in that circle, and you feel good in that circle because you're connected to the divine source, but still anchored. You anchor through the womb, and this, you know that this is a sacred place where magic happens, where you can create whatever you want. And these men I was talking about who are suppressing the woman, they got a clue about that. They heard of you, and they were like, whoa, what are they doing? Wait, they have self-worth, they have an own opinion, they know about medicine, but we don't. No, we cannot do that. We cannot let that happen. Oh my God, that's women. So what happened? They said it's witches. They said it's bad, sinful women. They need to die. And they burned them alive, as we all know, right? We know about that. So the thing with the witch wound is that's not just, if you have a problem with visibility on Instagram, in general, if you don't feel safe and start being insecure and nervous when entering a room and people look at you. When you when you try to be rigid and cover yourself because you don't want to draw attention towards you. When you are shy and try to be cute in order to not draw attention towards you. When you're, for example, tall and you don't wear heels in order to not be even taller. Like, Jesus Christ, when you're taller than a man, it's a total problem. So the thing is, this visibility wound, at some point, it's in all of us. It's in every woman, because it's not just a lineage wound, it's inherited trauma from the collectiveness. So right now, we are understanding that more and more women go out there, show themselves, work through these wounds in order to be okay and feel safe to be seen. Because what is the case and happening in our world now is the max that can happen to you is that you get a shitstorm, okay, but and you get cancelled, all right, but you will not get burned alive anymore. But in your cells, the memory is there, and that's a problem, because that's a very old trigger that blocks you from playing big and keeps playing you small in order to survive. So the visibility wound, I call it witch wound for that reason. And I cannot tell you a personal story about it, because literally I don't have it. I started doing hostings and being on stage when I was 17, I think. But my clients have it a lot. And this fear of being seen, this fear of being cancelled, this fear of being hated, this fear of being judged. Judgment is the worst thing for women, and most of the time the judgment from women nowadays is worse than the judgment from men, because men always go judging on the bodies, but women judge on, they know where to put the needle, which is crazy, because actually I thought we were in a time where solidarity is absolutely normal, but it's not, which is, by the way, also insecurity wound. So send love, not hate, as a reaction. But that's another thing. So let's turn back to the visibility wound and the witch wound. My clients often tell me, like, I panic when someone really sees me, even in relationships, even if that's not even just the stage and Instagram, which is a virtual stage. We're really talking, or when you do a presentation at work, like, it's really about even relationships. Like, when a man sees me, I panic. What if he sees me? And I'm like, yeah, that is the witch wound. That is the witch wound. Because the witch wound actually is carried by women who now are deeply afraid of being seen for who they are. Deeply afraid. And that's blocking your authentic self. So you can never, if you don't dissolve the visibility wound and work through it and heal it, if you don't heal your witch wound, and therefore, by the way, trauma of a whole lineage and collectiveness, then you can never go out with your soul gifts and be a new earth leader and share your gifts with the world and have an impact, have change. Because, spoiler, the success and impact and power comes with visibility, comes with people seeing you, people knowing you. Then people can follow you, and then you can inspire and motivate people. Otherwise, it's not working. If no one knows who you are, like, what do you want, you know? So even if you aim on running a business, being a leader, like, in quiet, behind the scenes, and just doing everything from the back, you still have to heal that witch wound, because that gives you the ability to at least choose Otherwise, you will always be a victim of this wound. And these trauma patterns will return, and that is absolutely limiting the connection to your highest self and to your soul gifts, to your soul mission, and to remembrance at the end of the day. And let me have a legend sip from my legend coffee first. I love it so much. Okay, so what can you do to heal this witch wound? I can tell you one good thing. You did already the biggest part, being aware of it. By watching this here, you already understood where it's coming from. So there is already the realization. Now it's a lot about accepting. Okay, this has been like that in the past. History was shit. I will do it differently. Because having grief towards everything that happened in the past, towards your lineage, etc., that's not helping you heal it. So find peace with the past, and we create a new era of leaders, which is basically the witches back then. Okay? So we're like the modern witches, but seen, in appreciated, in worship, because now the time has come, our time has come for divine feminine wisdom. We anchor it. Don't get me wrong, also divine masculine wisdom is anchored in a very healed, non-toxic way. That's their thing. Our thing is to heal the witch wound. Men don't even have the witch wound. They did not get burned. That was just for women. So we have to heal way more in order to be seen fully within our authentic self. That is so important. Oh my God. And then I can really promise you, because I am a host, I'm a speaker, I'm a lot on stages. This changes everything. And although my witch wound was, I think, already healed by my ancestors, I don't know, I never had a big problem with it. Like, there was nervosity. Okay. There was like, oh my God, what happens when everything's going wrong? And like, but I'm very good with self-regulation, so I told to myself, and that's, by the way, another point, what can you do for overcoming visibility wound and healing the witch wound? Understand that your life is not dependent anymore on this. So the worst thing that happens, you get some hate. But the good thing is, people are very, very, very good at forgetting very, very, very fast. So give it max 2 weeks, not even, just 3 days. And then there is a new, oh my God. So like, I realized that as well. I had my failures when being on stage, trust me. And then it was even in the newspapers, and yeah, okay, people were like, oh my God, Sarah did this and that, and then 3 days after, no one cared, because that is what it is. Like, if you check the celebrities and their scandals, then it's for 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then no one talks about it anymore. So no worries, you got this, and you will not die. Maybe part of your ego dies. No, but if you even healed the shame wound, you're totally fine, because you know that you come with your gifts, and this is so fucking sacred that there is no right and wrong. Whatever needs to be said, you will be able to say. It will be here. You will be seen for what you can offer the world. End of story. And everything else is not even important. It comes. So this is the witch wound and how to overcome it. And I like to do, since this is the fierce feminine frequency here, we're already on that empowerment frequency. Can you feel that? Like, leadership is overcoming fears as well. Self-regulation with emotions, how I do it when I go on stage. And also playing the game, because we unleashed lioness here, the fierce lioness, but we also awaken the feminine siren. So let's ask ourselves the question, what would an unleashed lioness do to overcome the witch wound? It would look at it, and then it would, like, the lioness would literally say, fuck it, I do it anyways. That's basically what I did when I had my very, very, very first hosting experience. I freaked out. There were 6 TV channels recording. Everyone that was in any kind important in Austria was there. And oh my God, I was I was just like, oh, okay, I don't even remember. It's coming back now. I don't find words. I don't even remember how old I was. I think it was 23 or something. Like, really, I was very young. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then at some point, literally, they called my name. They said, and now on stage, Sarah. And I was like this. Literally, that was self-regulation. I was like this. And then I said to myself, fuck it, now we go out there. And then I just went out there with my 15-centimeter high heels. I went out there, and 15 minutes, by the way, before the whole start of the event, they rescheduled the whole program. So everything I thought about, like how you can go from one topic to another, etc., was gone. So I really had to truly improvise, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna rock this now. Because you have two options. Be fierce in that moment, or be feminine in that moment, in sense of, I need help. You can find help as well. Find someone who regulates with you, who helps you stay calm, etc. But the fierce one is like, fuck it, I do this now, I can do this because I am the boss. Yeah. And this power, you empower yourself for this, is needed. Like in case of the witch wound, I would say, what would the unleashed lioness do is more helpful than what would the feminine siren do, because the feminine siren would look for a circle and a community, which is also great, but to overcome, it's even better to just have that I don't care attitude for a moment. Let's call it sacred rage, or sacred arrogance, like I'm the best, fuck the rest. You are allowed to be like that in order to heal that wound, okay? The feminine siren would also do, to overcome the witch wound, start being seen with people she trusts. Unleashed lioness goes out there and like, okay, come on. We change the cycle now. We do things differently now. And the feminine siren is more like, okay, I want my tribe around me, and I do it the soft way. The unleashed lioness never does it the soft way. She's fierce. The feminine siren does it the soft way, and this is also okay. So find your way of overcoming this witch wound, and feel free to tell me in the comments how it's going, if you feel like having the witch wound, and or if you don't have a problem with visibility and are rocking everything already. Don't forget to subscribe, to follow me on Instagram. Next week we dive into the prostitute wound. Yeah, we go through all these wounds because this is very important in order to be clean on the fierce feminine frequency. Can't wait to see you again, and yeah, I wish you the best. Fuck the rest. To say like a fierce lioness, you know what I mean, okay? We love each other, but you can channel your fierce lioness in order to go out there and rock the stage.